Hello, everyone. So today we have Sarah Nelson from Mums & Co. on the Partner Podcast. She's got a really interesting, inspiring story of how she has got started, and what she's doing now with Mums & Co. is great, especially for mums out there and families. So let's get stuck in. Maybe I might start by saying that Mums & Co. has been on Partner for quite a few months now. Just for context for everyone. So we've really enjoyed working together and excited to jump in. Sarah, can you maybe start by telling us about Mums & Co? What is it? What do you guys do? And how did you start working there?
Thank you so much. Hi, nice to be here.
Hello.
And lovely. Yeah, thank you so much for all of your support for Mums & Co. on Partner, a very cool platform.
Welcome.
Mums & Co. is, like you, a digital platform supporting micro business owners, and in particular, small business and micro business owning women and mothers across Australia. We are an annual membership so that you can access strategic guidance, events, resources, and support in a very, psychologically safe space that's very supportive and totally understands and advocates for you and her, a woman, rising to her ambition, also with respect to her livelihood and her own well-being. So we're all about harmonizing that so that you can run a business while raising a family. And our tagline is Mumbition, the unapologetic blending of motherhood and ambition, which we love celebrating.
Perfect.
I got to know the Mums & Co. team through an event that I hosted in late 2019, and then did some work for Mums & Co. as a consultant. Had always advocated for Australian entrepreneurship and female founders in particular. So when the opportunity to join as Chief of Staff came up, it was too good to refuse. So I've been with Mums & Co. since 2020.
That's awesome. 28,000 members, that's huge. That's amazing. I guess it's very wide and varied, but what would you say the typical business owner is, or mum?
There's no such thing. Typically fabulous, typically mumbitious.
Love it.
That's what I will say. But because we are a national community, and because we are for women at all stages of business and motherhood, typically early stage sole traders, micro business owners, a very distinct category to small business owners that we'd love to celebrate. The top four sectors that our community covers are professional services, creative services, wellbeing, e-commerce, and retail.
Awesome. So it doesn't have to be online. It's basically everything. It's just support. And so practically speaking, how does it work for a member week to week, month to month? What do they do?
Yeah. Our signature offerings are, we have 3 different types of events that we host every month. Today, actually, we've got a practice your pitch session, and we host that each month because we believe that describing your business with clarity and conviction is an essential skill. And sometimes when you hear about, women in business and women in confidence and imposter and all of that conversation, that's actually a skills gap. So you can address that skill by learning how to pitch. So we host that.
I can relate to that, definitely. For context, I've come from e-commerce, so it's very isolating. You're by yourself. I always had small teams. And now that we have a SaaS platform and backed by VC, we obviously have to pitch a lot. So I'd never really had to do elevator pitches or anything like that before. And then when you're meeting people and you're networking, all of a sudden they say, so what do you do? And it's so funny how what you do at the back of your hand, but when someone asks you, the different things that come out of your mouth or nothing at sometimes, it's quite funny.
The 2 biggest challenges that our women have are time and money. So knowing your pitch, having that pitch that you can just whip out of your back pocket, whether it's at the supermarket line or school pickup or on stage in front of a VC, is it's great for your time because you've got it. It's at the ready. And then you're always ready. So it's really good. You know, there's so much of being, you would know this as a co-founder, there's so much of being a small business owner or entrepreneur and founder that's deeply, fundamentally isolating. So any moment where you can feel confident and prepared and ready is really important. So that's why we have our practice your pitch.
That's cool.
As a signature activity. And then also that's why we have a monthly member meetup where it's that invitation to come in, introduce yourself and your business. So we're making you use the skills that we teach, but then also to make your business ask, like, hi, I'm Sarah, I'm looking for partners, because we're in business. It's not a hobby, it's a business. And so how can we create those conventions and create those spaces to make your business ask? And the third event that we host every month is a group expert session to deliver that strategic guidance and support for all stages and all sectors. We've got a phenomenal array of experts on platform that host a group expert session, so you can drop in and brush up on your legals or spring clean your finances, for example.
Accounting.
Yes.
I don't like that.
Well, again, mindset, come in, join a community. Come and join Ingrid Thompson's session with us in September.
I don't think I quite qualify, Sarah. Maybe Fathers and Co.
Well, you're our co, so that's why we're called Mums and Co. So we're to support business owning mothers, but again, linking back to that isolation, you need your co. You need that community of support around you, whether it's your partner or husband. You know, it's the village that it takes to raise a child. It's the community that you need to support you in your business journey. So you're absolutely welcome. Come on down.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So your role, Sarah, as Chief of Staff, I've heard that only a few times. Can you explain basically what your role is and what you do day to day?
I was preparing for this conversation and I wrote down, it's basically a swanky title for get it done. Get it done.
Sounds like my role.
Yeah. Sometimes I call it the Jill of all trades or the Jack of all trades. Sometimes I call it the backup dancer. It really is that, prioritizing a time. Is there a vision? If, once you've got that vision, is everyone across the vision? So it's all shoulders to the wheel, so to speak. Do we have the resources to deliver on that? So it's a lot of strategy and then support and then communication and culture and morale and as well as documentation. So lots of operations, and then depending on where you are in business, if you're pretty early stage, just as soon as you document, you'll probably then go and invent another process. So it's that constant iteration of how can we get the things that we want to achieve, how can we get them done?
Nice. Lots on your plate.
Yeah, but that's, what makes the dynamism. The dynamism brings the challenge and also the enjoyment, and that opportunity to really feel and set the tone for the culture is such a beautiful, rewarding thing, that despite the challenges and the roller coaster of business and entrepreneurship, you're responsible for making sure that you've got great people, great work, and you're all on track to achieve what you want to achieve. So there's lots to celebrate on a good day.
Yeah, I'm not having one of them this morning, as we spoke about with car troubles. But that's a big role, Sarah. How did you move into the C-level roles and like executive roles, and what did that journey look like for you?
It looked like a lot of determination when I was reflecting on this. I had come from a marketing and comms background, and I was really determined to make that next step. And so there was an opportunity to take a project by the reins, and I really focused on the areas that I wasn't, didn't have as much proximity to, which was a project fit out with a big budget and lots of external stakeholder engagement. So kind of over-engineered and over-resourced that project to demonstrate that I had the capability. And so from that role was then promoted into a chief operating officer role. However, then I quit because I found that so I'd always been a very diligent and successful doer, and that's what allowed me to progress throughout my career. But it's completely different when you're overseeing everything instead of being responsible for any one particular thing. It's a completely different skill set. So I then spent a lot of time on figuring out, okay, what is my purpose? What are my strengths? What is my skill set? So that I could get back into a C-suite role and in a much more sustainable fashion.
Yeah, okay. So it was a bit of a transition going from being able to perform and be, I guess, accountable for yourself, and then having to manage a team, and you're not necessarily physically or doing those tasks. It's now up to a team. Is that how you would kind of explain that?
Yeah, and like being like that facilitator and enabler and backup dancer, it's a different set of skills and a different mindset.
Yeah, I was looking on your LinkedIn with all your experience and all your roles, and it's quite impressive, the roles that you've had and the companies you work for. What skills would you say that you've utilized across all of those jobs and different industries today?
Yeah, the standout is still Ralph Lauren, and that taught me so much about brand and story and purpose and the
Sorry, I
power.
just lost you then from the
Should I do it
start.
again?
Yeah. So I was on your LinkedIn. You have some really impressive roles from fashion, government, C-suite, consulting in different industries. What would you say are the skill sets that you've utilized across all of the different roles you've had?
Yeah, the standout is still Ralph Lauren. It was just such an influence in terms of the power of brand and story, and not just for marketing and logo and advertising, but the way they integrated brand into absolutely every single aspect of their business and their decision making. And so that really developed my skill of integrity and communication. And so once you've got that purpose, then you need to deliver on that integrity, and you need to prove that integrity in absolutely everything that you do. So that's definitely been a really big and continuing influence, and the skill of communicating. And then what I hear is that I'm very organized. I've got a crazy attention to detail, which can be really annoying or really good. And then I'm very passionate and energetic and enthusiastic. So if you're having a bad day, I'll figure out something to make it better.
Nice.
I'm sorry, having a bad day.
Oh, it's only a car. It could be a lot worse. So what would you say are some of the harder parts of your role today?
Definitely prioritizing. Yeah, it's that when you're across everything but responsible for nothing, how do you prioritize what you dip into and what you can let or let go or deprioritize? So that's definitely a challenge, and especially when you find everything fascinating and exciting and important and an opportunity, like the shiny thing syndrome.
Yeah, I've definitely got that.
Yeah. So that's, prioritizing is definitely a challenge. And then patience. Patience is also a challenge when you're building something new and it's fabulous and important and you just want to share it with the world and the world to understand exactly what it is. And sometimes you might be a bit, and especially when, I was sharing before, I've got communication skills. I might have felt like I've communicated, but has everyone understood, or have you really been in effective in that communication. So the
Mm.
patience to just be a bit more methodical, and allow a project or a process the time that, or your team, the people, the time that it needs to come into fulfillment.
Nice. And obviously you would have had a transition from let's call it pre-kids to post-kids. How for the mums out there now, how have you changed, or I guess adapted your life having kids now, with your role and with professionally, I should say?
Yes, I love this question, because this is why I quit. So cracked the
Mm,
C-suite, hooray, and then
yeah,
was like, oh, I'd left everything else in my life kind of slide.
yeah.
Kids, volunteering, community, relationships, health, etc. So um, my number one advice is to realize that your legacy, I'm really, really passionate about this concept of legacy. Your legacy is not something that you wait or want or hope that will just magically happen. You have to be proactive with it. It's like some advice I was given years ago by a beautiful mentor. Sorry, do you want me to start again? Because my Slack's going.
No, that's all right.
Is it all right? Okay.
Yeah.
Some advice I was given a few years ago by a beautiful mentor, that you need to define your own success, and you also need to create your own legacy, and you can create your own legacy. So I came up with a process to really stock take what's important to you, coming from all the different teams in your life, your family, your career, etc. And so I have a legacy statement that I use to guide in all decisions that I make about life. And
Oh,
so,
that's
for
cool.
example, Mums and Co is very directly aligned with and correlates and delivers that legacy. So knowing, don't just so I think I just had the title, I just had the job. Like you can just have a car or have a house or have a, I don't know, new lipstick or whatever. Like we can get caught up in having the things and wanting the things, but if you don't know why, and that significant, that unique meaning and purpose for you, that's where we get exhausted. That's where we get burnt out. That's where you feel like you're being an average mother and an average employee and everything's just a bit crap.
Yeah.
So
Feeling
you can,
inspired.
you need to create your own magic. You need to create your own legacy and define your own success.
Oh, that's cool. So I'd imagine that'd be really helpful for everyone to be able to sit down and work that out. Over the last, maybe going back to business, over the last 12 months, have you guys noticed any difficulties with getting in front of new customers in terms of advertising or marketing, due to iOS updates and post-COVID CPAs getting higher? If that's not in your role, but have you experienced any of that?
Yeah. So taking a step back on that, this reminded me of a conversation I had many years ago with the chief marketing officer of Goodman, a big, huge industrial property group. And she was talking about, she had this aha moment where she realized that her brand didn't have to be industry specific. So she realized that Goodman was actually competing with Apple or with Nike. And it's exactly what we're seeing as well, that if you think that a brand is just competing in your category, you're ignoring your customers' life and time. So Mums and Co, for example, we're competing with Netflix, and we're competing with, your Pilates class, and and it is so easy to be in touch with a customer now. However, because of that, everyone is in touch with customers all the time. And so you've got to know, you've got to be so reverential. Like, how can you respect her time? How can you meet her where she's at? How can you give her the information that cuts at the right time, that's relevant and caring, and in a way that's not arduous and or expensive as an advertiser? So It's a really interesting time, and helps to be very much guided by your brand or your product design principles.
I guess Mums and Co has a bit of a unique, let's call it, challenge in the way of user direct to consumer, but you also, the consumers are business owners at the same time. So it's a bit of a blend of, I can see you're right, you're competing with Netflix,
Yeah.
but then it's also, educational and a business cost as well.
Yeah. The thing about especially early stage business owning women is that their business is such a key part of their identity.
Yes.
So it's sometimes one and the same, but then it's sometimes you can split it. It's like, no, I'm in business mode, or I'm in personal mode. And so but then also it's early stage, and there might not be those customers where your bank account from bootstrapping, it's pretty flush, and so you can invest back in your business. And so it's that constant juggle of do I invest in my business, or do I buy my kids new sneakers, or it's all at once. So yeah, being caring, being respectful. What does she need? When does she need it? How can you help her? Is very much driving how we make marketing and engagement and community decisions.
Yeah, awesome. You guys are obviously doing partnerships because you're in partner, and you've been doing it for longer than that. Can you give an example of some of the active partnerships and partners you're working with?
Yeah, we'd love partnerships. So Mums & Co was founded in 2016. And this year we're celebrating our milestone 5th annual signature event, the Be Empowered conference. So sponsorships, pretty traditional event sponsorships, have always been really important to us. And I think we've tried most different types of partnerships. So, as a community, going into media partnerships to increase advocacy and awareness, community partnerships to grow organically, with other like-minded groups, to reach different regions or sectors and that sort of thing. Referral partnerships, distribution partnerships. Of course, we've always been backed by IAG, and recently announced that we're fully acquired by the business. So we're very much in partnership with NRMA Insurance, and always looking for new ways that we can grow our community base and deliver those mutual benefits between Mums & Co and the organisations that we work with.
Why do you guys value partnerships so much and invest a lot of time and resources in them?
Yeah, because it's that it's the opportunity to scale. So we're a very small team doing big, beautiful, important, purpose-led work, and we're a digital platform, so we're physically, digitally able to scale, and we know that women are starting more businesses than men in Australia, and there are 345,000 business owning mothers in Australia.
Wow.
However, we're limited by our own time and our own money, like any business owner. So how can we partner with organizations to reach and support and help as many business owning mothers as we can? Coming back to those principles of how do we meet her where she is? How do we bring her the products and services that will help her take that next step in business, so that she can create this fabulous world where she doesn't have to choose between her career or her caring, and she can start and she can be really successful as she grows her business.
Yeah, cool. So putting partnerships together can be tedious at times, and traditionally it is quite long-winded at times. What are the hardest parts you've found of putting partnerships together?
I'm so glad you asked this question, because I think you partner won me over on an insight that Ryan shared when I was thinking about signing up. And Ryan said that business to business partnerships are where good ideas go to die. And it's so funny because it's so true. I've shared good idea business-to-business partnerships are where good ideas go to die. I've shared that with so many people, and everyone laughs because of the veracity of it. It is so true. And so it's just that cut through, it's kind of like what Mums and Co. I mean, again, we're both digital platforms. So it's that space where it's culturally accepted to make your business ask, to practice your pitch, to everything that we do for our members is exactly what we're seeing and enjoying with Partner. It's that forum to present your brand, and it's been really good to define our assets. I'm just thinking about it now, you've kind of made us do what we teach. So we teach women to make their business ask, we teach women to pitch, and Partner allows us to do that.
Nice. Yeah, it's often the hardest part, right, is doing what you tell people to do. Ryan and I, we pull ourselves up on it almost weekly. It's like, we're telling our brands to do that. Why aren't we doing that?
But Partner's on silly. Partner. We've had this conversation.
Yes.
Yes, we have. Is Partner now on Partner?
Partner's not on Partner. Maybe we should fix that. But we do partner with brands. Let's fix that.
Action from the podcast.
Yes. So being a small team, I guess pre-partner, the resources would have been a bit of a difficulty with outreach and putting partnerships together.
I think I lost you. I've lost you.
Oh, that's better.
Can we go again?
Yeah. So I was saying that you said that Mums & Co is a relatively small team. Before Partner, was the resources and outreach that was a bit of a stretch or hard to, I guess, for scale?
Yeah, it was that the scale for sure. That's been amazing for helping us increase our reach and distribution into different brands and organisations that are looking to support and interact with business owning mothers in our community. And for advocacy, we've got that really good opportunity to define who we are, because we've got a very stringent onboarding process that brands have to align with our values. So it's nice to be so upfront about that. And then we really value it also because the partnerships allow us to invest in her. So we're, bringing what we know can help our community help, grow their business or nurture and support their families. And so those kind of three things, that it's the scale, it's the advocacy, and that definition of assets, and that it's the clarity.
Yeah.
But then also finding brands that can genuinely support our community.
Yeah, nice. Outside of Mums & Co or with Mums & Co, what's an example? Because I know you've had partnerships roles before in some of your other companies you work for. What's like one of the most unique or outside of the box partnerships that you've put together?
Well, can I share a Mums & Co example, or do you want me to share it outside?
Nah, go for it.
We've actually, from totally fangirling Christina Carlson, we've just partnered with her new company, Your Dream Life Starts Here. And for all the talk about Mums & Co being a digital platform, we've now got Mums & Co on a page. So it's a partnership with Your Dream Life Starts Here, where we've created Mumbition the Journal.
Oh, nice.
I've scribbled all over mine. So you can personalize your own copy, and it's all of our signature events and activities in the format of a journal.
Love it.
So what is exciting about it is that it's merchandise. We haven't done merchandise before. So partnerships are allowing us to explore new territory for Mums & Co. It's also the partnership have created this new product and method for us. We have online events, we have, build that sense of community, and we're really big on being accountable as a sole trader, as a parent, you're accountable to the business that you're growing, or the family that you're raising. And so how can we support you? And journaling and writing your goals down is proven time and again as the best way to achieve your dream life. So yeah, there's no way we would have gone and designed, printed, and distributed a journal. No way. So it wouldn't have happened without a partnership.
That's really cool. Has that launched yet? Have you started?
We've soft launched it. So you can have a look on yourdreamlifestartshere.com, maybe .com.au, or I can share a link in the show notes. And yes, you can buy a copy of Mumbition the Journal and start. So it's their signature monthly habit tracker, for example, but we've added our heading. So what are you doing each month to develop your ambition habits, your livelihood habits, and your wellbeing habits? So it's like even the product itself is a collaboration between Mums & Co. and Your Dream Life.
Yeah, that's great. So the result of a partnership, Mums & Co. being an online, I guess, educated community, the partnership has enabled you guys to co-create a product, which you said you would never have done.
No way. Because it's, coming back to the chief of staff, there's lots on. I'm not a publisher.
Yeah.
The partnership allowed us to build a new product, to increase our capability without, while we could still prioritize other focuses of the business and the community.
And you're leveraging her audience and making it relevant and exciting. And it's great for her audience and her business too, because she's able to create something new and exciting and leverages your audience. So that's awesome.
And you've reminded me, thank you. So our favourite partnerships and my favourite partnerships are ones that are very deeply integrated. I think long gone are the days of like a brand slap. You put a brand next to an event and you call it done. I think that's absolutely over, because you want that. Customers are incredibly sophisticated, but then also phenomenally distracted, what we were talking about before. So you need that lead time. You need that full gamut of multiple touch points, 3 to 6 months, ideally, of talking about each other and the benefits and what's in it for me, and that experience on, podcasts, social media, PR, events. Like, you really need to bring it as much as you possibly can so that you can achieve your goals, whether that's awareness or leads and new customers, that sort of thing. So having the time to let a partnership run and kind of like the Ralph Lauren example before, implementing a partnership, not just in one event, but actually implementing it and integrating it through all your channels and all aspects of your business is where the gold is, where the work is, but where the gold is.
Yeah, love it. That's one of our biggest things when we meet with our new brands for the first time. And we see a lot of brands getting it wrong, is when they are too focused on trying to just get this instant boost of sales, or they're just focusing on themselves. It really needs to be a multi-touch approach over a longer time. Sure, you'll get that instant uplift, but it's better to have that sustainable, I guess, growth channel. And then when you have that, you might have 10 brand partners with your partnership program, you get this compounding effect over time. That's really cool. So you've told me that partnerships are not only present in your professional life, but also in your personal life with building a house. Can you give us some insights into that?
It's when so for all of the transferable skills between business and motherhood that we talk about a lot at Mums & Co. And I remember in my previous role, which was all about entrepreneurship, you can apply an entrepreneurial mindset to unloading the dishwasher. Like, done is better than perfect. Just get it done. So there's all of these transferable skills. And so I took that to town and put it to the test, and we're building a house and it's all out of concrete. And I thought, it's a pretty big asset in terms of a partnership asset. And there are a couple of products, but there's the best product, the best concrete product, because it's beautifully eco-friendly. So yeah, I pitched our house as the asset to Wholesome, and
Okay, talk us through the process here, Sarah. So this is interesting. So you've just cold outreach to this company, sent an email, or did you get an introduction from someone?
Unfortunately they weren't on Partner, and
Don't worry, they will be.
I'll tell them to join.
Yes.
What did I do? I cold outreached to the head of community and marketing on LinkedIn.
Awesome.
And then I noticed that she was connected with a very fabulous person. So then I who I'm very close to. So I messaged that very fabulous person and said, "Do you know X?" And he said, "Yes, I'll drop a note." Which I think it was actually genuinely, she was the community marketing lead was genuinely interested in the opportunity, and it helped a little bit that we also had a mutual contact.
Yeah.
And then had a so all credit to her, say yes when wild ideas land on your desk, because she said yes, and then introduce us to her marketing team, and the rest is history. So we prepared a deck on Canva with some ideas, and had some examples for what we thought the partnership might achieve, and some content that it would create, and the significance of it. And here we are. So have a look at the local project.
The
Not yet,
local
but
project.
soon.
Yeah, that's really cool. So just quickly, what are some of, I guess, those executions for the brand? They'll get content out of it. And
Yeah. So they'll get content. They also get access. So they are trying to move more into the residential space. They're fine on car parks and commercial.
Yeah.
If you're getting a sense of what our very brutalist, modernist concrete house is going to look like. Without the content, without the partnership, they wouldn't have had access to a residential space, which is where their business is going. So it's a way for them to test a new business direction, a way to have a spokesperson and ambassadors for their product, and word of mouth. I mean, I'm talking about it. Like I've just given them.
Exactly.
I've just mentioned a concrete company 4 times.
Millions of
wouldn't
people
do
are
that
going to
if you
listen
weren't in
to this,
partnership
Sarah.
with them. Yeah.
It's, I guess, another takeaway of that situation too is timing. So if perhaps it was 6 months from now and they've already got into the residential area, they might not have been open to it. But you've got them at the right time, and it makes sense for both parties.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I like about how Partner creates that space, because it can be, and this is probably what Brian's talking about, B2B partnerships is where good ideas go to die. Not because they're bad ideas, but just because people get distracted, or they forget to reply, or it's not the right time, or, all of these myriad of different reasons that might have nothing to do with the partnership prospectus or the idea. It's just you're not in the right budgeting cycle, or your deck didn't land in the right inbox, or they've just signed up with your competitor, or all of these different things. And so I like the immediacy of Partner. And I've been at quite a few conferences lately, and bumped into a lot of people that I've been chatting with online about partnering with Mums and Co. And it was just so satisfying to have that immediate real-time feedback. Like, I'm going on leave for a couple of weeks, so I'll let you know after that. Because if I hadn't had that conversation with them, I would have been like, oh, they don't like it, or they've, all this kind of stuff. But how can we respect each other's time, and how can we give that real-time feedback that, so that the good ideas don't die, the good ideas get delivered.
I guess that quote there is something that we're obviously partners trying to fix, and that just made me think through our platforms. Obviously, we've developed it, but the inbox specifically, we've developed it for partnerships in mind. And when you do like a cold outreach via email, if the person doesn't get back to you straight away, more often than not, they're going to forget about it. Whereas with partner, there's a platform and somewhere to always be checking for your partnerships. So it's not going to get lost. But it's enough about us. We'll start
But I did want to say, I
yeah.
love your the AI tool again, because you're saving me time. Instead of the research compiling beautiful bespoke emails that can take 15 minutes to 45 minutes to write a nice introductory email. The AI tool is very cool.
Oh, that's great feedback. For context, one of the reasons why because obviously you can get carried away with AI, and it went crazy obviously when every company started bringing it out. But we thought long and hard about how can we actually get the AI to help our brands. And one of them being a lot of brands, regardless of size, some of them really experienced partnership managers, were sending messages, an introduction message to another brand just saying hi or hello. And it's just so much time wasted, opportunity wasted. And then you can imagine the responses back are not good, if at all. A lot of brands just ignore it. So we thought, how can we solve that issue? And we think we're onto it. Obviously, it's going to get better over time when we get more data and stuff. But yeah, we're really happy with how it's working.
Congratulations.
Thanks. So let's wrap it up there, Sarah. Thanks so much for your time. Just for perhaps mums or the co, to get started with Mums and Co, where do they go?
mumsandco.com.au. We would love to welcome you to our community.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. We'll chat soon. Have a great day.
Beautiful. Thanks. You too.
Bye.